Sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't, especially if the baby is African American.
We don't know of any biological reason for this. We don't know of any socioeconomic reason for this. So it really points us in the direction of asking, what is it that needs to change?
Many now believe a contributing factor to the alarming rate of infant mortality among African American babies is racial bias. New numbers released by Cradle Cincinnati last week show 17 out of every 1,000 black babies don't make it.
I remember feeling like you just made an assumption about who I am when I walked through the door.
Dr. Meredith Shockley-Smith is Community Strategies Director for Cradle Cincinnati. She's also a mother who says she's had more experiences of racism than she can count.
So there's always these millions of questions about how we got there and what they were doing and what I was doing and why I wasn't doing it the right way. And I just remember thinking, are we gonna get to why we came? Like, does it matter that my child is sick?
Leaders at Cradle Cincinnati and other local medical organizations are joining the growing chorus of voices that say implicit bias in the healthcare setting needs to be looked at further as a reason why more black infants die before their first birthdays.
Implicit bias is the negative cultural stereotype that can influence the way that a healthcare provider processes information about the patient.
Dr. Roosevelt Walker is an OBGYN with TriHealth. He's also president of the Cincinnati Medical Association, which advocates for minority doctors and patients in town.
One of the things that patients will report is that they were not taken seriously by the provider and that their complaints may be dismissed.
Dr. Elizabeth Kelly is co-founder of Cradle Cincinnati. The nonprofit is paying attention to the growing evidence and believes training can make a difference.
If we uncover the bias that they have, that they may not know they have, that actually it can change the way that they approach and treat people.
The goal is for this mom and her family to feel supported and to have a safe and healthy pregnancy.
Training started this year.
We are going through, as a first step, a series of implicit bias trainings with hundreds of prenatal care providers.
My name is Dr. Nicole Avant.
Dr. Nicole Avant is a consultant hired to work for a year with Cradle Cincinnati and major groups like UC Health, TriHealth, and the Cincinnati Health Department on implicit bias.
It's not assuming your patient is lazy or uneducated or they don't care about their health. It's like checking those biases at the door. It's watching your first thoughts with your patients. It's slowing your brain down to really interpret what you're seeing.
The training is designed so that it's informative, not judgmental.
We use a lot of active learning, a lot of activities where it forces you to see your own biases. I'm not telling you, you've identified it for yourself.
Both UC and TriHealth hospitals will examine their leadership structures with Dr. Avant to answer the question, are they inclusive enough?
There aren't a whole lot of African-American OBGYNs.
In fact, only 2.7% of doctors in Cincinnati are African-American. Avant and others who've done research on the relationship between implicit bias and infant mortality know changing attitudes is difficult.
Because if you just put out disparities, people will say, well, if they would only make better choices, if they would only eat better, if they would only exercise more.
But if it saves tiny lives, it's worth a try.
We want to have a robust conversation around this, but just because it's hard doesn't mean that we shouldn't be doing it.
The high rate of black infant mortality is not only happening here in Cincinnati, it's a national issue for large urban populations. You can check our stories from other families who have been through this on the WCPO app on your favorite streaming device like Roku or Fire TV.
With that and an antenna, we had all we needed. Cutting the cord is becoming more popular, but there are so many options and prices to sift through. John Matarese breaks down the best tools and subscriptions for you so you don't waste your money.
And a powerful lesson for teens, the reason why a TriState high school wanted prom goers to see the pain and suffering of a potentially life-changing mistake. The Cincinnati council member who deleted text message related to the Gang of Five cases will not be held in contempt of court after all. In this hearing today, a judge said that there isn't enough evidence to hold that charge against Wendell Young. Young and 4 other city council members agreed to a settlement earlier this year, which included admitting to breaking city and state laws.
A TriState high school wants teens to have a safe prom night, and they shared that message in a pretty dramatic fashion today. This is a dramatization of a car crash at New Richmond High School. Members of the Students Against Destructive Driving Club staged this scene to make sure the students recognize the dangers of distracted and drunk driving.
We want them to go home with this and kind of go, wow, this could happen. And so by going bigger, having everybody involved, we're going to have that impact.
Several agencies, including New Richmond Fire and Ohio State Patrol, participated in that mock crash. Steve.
Okay, Tanya, as we look at it, we're waiting for more of that rain to come. I'll show you how it hits tonight, but even more importantly, how it continues into the weekend. We do have some better weather, though, on Sunday. The other thing is it's really cool air again for the TriState.
And still new at 6, taking a bite out of your budget, the best alternatives for ditching your cable subscription so you don't waste your money. That's next at 6. Have you checked your cable bill lately?
Yes.
Yes.
Terrifying.
Jaw-dropping. You know, they keep going up, and it can be a real challenge even to try to talk some of these companies down from those higher rates.
I am very interested in this next story, and if you're like me and you're considering cutting the cord, consumer reporter John Matarese has done the homework for us. He is here now with the latest battle of the TV streaming services. And what'd you find, John?
Well, Craig and Tanya, you know, with cable bills approaching the $200 mark, streaming TV sounds better than ever right now. But you need to be careful, or streaming can still cost you over $100 a month. So we have a new comparison to help find the best service for you. Kimberly Seekman was fed up with her rising cable bill here at her Covington apartment.
For how much I was spending on cable, I was finding there wasn't that much that I really wanted to watch.
So she and her boyfriend bought a Roku box and now have just internet, basic Hulu, and Netflix. Local channels, like None on Your Side, free with antenna.
And we were completely happy with that. With that and an antenna, we had all we needed.
But if she wants more,
I can set up Sling TV on it and Prime Video.
Christy Simones is also a cord cutter here in her Westchester home.
It was over $200 just with basic cable. I had no HBO, no Showtime.
So Christy cut back to just internet and now uses her smart TV to watch YouTube and Netflix at big savings.
It saved me over $100 a month when I just cut the cord and just went to streaming.
Result, every month, thousands of more people are switching to streaming.
To get started, you'll need either a newer smart TV or a streaming device like a Roku, Apple TV, Google Chromecast, or Amazon Fire Stick. Then it's time to choose your streaming service.
With the help of the tech site CNET, we compared the 5 main players for 2019. Sling TV. CNET calls it the best value at just $25 a month, but it's missing Fox News, Nickelodeon, and most local channels. Hulu Live, $45 with the most cable and local channels, though no AMC or Comedy Central. DirecTV Now, $50. You get HBO free, but you won't get HGTV or Discovery. PlayStation Vue, $45, but no MTV, Lifetime, or Nickelodeon for the kids. And YouTube TV, $50. Lots of sports, but no A&E, Comedy Central, Lifetime, or Nick. On a budget, CNET says consider Philo at just $16 a month, but it's missing many popular cable channels. Kimberly's considered upgrading her Roku with Sling or another service, but she doesn't want to go overboard.
So do you miss cable?
Oh, definitely not. With that and the antenna for my NBC, CBS, ABC, I'm good.
Finally, if you're a live sports fan, the tech site Mashable says Fubo, that's right, it's called Fubo, has the most sports channels of all. Otherwise, Sling TV was the winner for overall best value, though Hulu Live and PlayStation were the most comprehensive. Read my full comparison on WCPO.com so you don't waste your money. Tanya?
Yikes.
I have a headache.
Yeah, this is why it makes it hard to cut the...
It does. I'm like, okay,
well, I need that, but wait a minute, they have this.
But then all of us were kind of shaking our heads. We're like, Comedy Central, AMC, don't really need that, need this, but then...
I wanted HGTV, and you were like, nah.
Yeah, you don't see me down working that stuff.
As long as people at home can see Steve's forecast, that's all that matters.
Yes, that's true, because I have a mortgage to pay. So let's show you what's up here as we head through the next few hours in your 9 first warning weather alert day. Things have calmed down. So why is the alert day still active? The reason why is for later tonight. In fact, we've even had some sunshine around here. You'll notice some of these clear spots showing up. There's another one down by Louisville. So in another couple of hours, we could see some clear skies. But we have a cold front that's just out to our west that will bring us some more heavy rain and likely some thunderstorms. The possibility of severe weather is still there, even though it is less than what we have this afternoon. So as you look at it, you'll see that generally we could catch a shower the way I see it, but just some clouds as we go through about 11 o'clock. Then all of a sudden we start seeing that frontal system, the cold front, show up in the way of some downpours, some isolated storms, and that continues into the early overnight as we head through and into your Friday morning. It does appear that, yes, for your Friday morning commute, there will be rain around, especially on the early side, 6, 7 o'clock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. By 8, we're going to start to see this pushing off to the east. We'll be left with some scattered showers through about 11. The good news for tomorrow is probably is our best chance to see some dry weather. If you've got to do anything outdoors, it's tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening that's your best shot. Let me show you why that's happening. The front itself will start pushing off to the east, opening the door to just some clouds and pulling the rain with it for our Friday afternoon and evening. However, another area low pressure coming in out of the south will bring the rain back in first thing on Saturday. And unfortunately, that low is now tracking more north. And because of that, it looks like we're going to see some off and on rain throughout the day on Saturday. And finally, that pulls out. It looks like our Saturday night will be more cloudy than anything else. Clouds hang around early on Sunday before we clear out, and that clearing continues into the first part of the week. But a lot of rain before we get to that clearing on Sunday. In fact, I've set the rainfall gauges here for future view out to just about Saturday. And as we look at it, you'll notice that this is my other one. I only got to sit till Friday now that I see it. 1 to 2 inches of rain, but we will catch some more on Saturday. So we're going to see closer to 2 inches of rain in a lot of areas because of that additional rain on Saturday. Now at the moment, we've got some moderate rain showing in around Bracken and Mason County and northern Kentucky and some sprinkles. Otherwise, things are just mostly cloudy. 73 degrees outside at the moment. We'll get to 64 for tonight. So it's scattered rain with that heavy rain later. Then 72, some early rain tomorrow, and then the clouds. And then as we head to the weekend, we'll focus in on Flying Pig and also the temperatures across both days. You'll notice on Saturday, a lot of rain off and on. Temperatures in the low 60s. It's going to be a cool day on Saturday. Then on Sunday, the good news is it's going to start cool with some clouds. So the serious runners will likely see some pretty good conditions the way things look right now. Then we'll see some sunshine later for the victory party and maybe for your plans on Cinco de Mayo. Okay, so into next week, temperatures climbing. I'm pushing it to 77 Monday, and we're warm again. Another chances for rain Wednesday and Thursday. Now it's time for sports. Here's John Popovich.
Thank you, Steve. A pitcher's duel Wednesday night went to the Reds. Mets turned it around at Citi Field today. Tyler Mahle, he was tremendous. This is the only mistake he made. He wasn't careful against Mets starter Noah Syndergaard, who hit it into the seats, and that was the only run of the game. Syndergaard looks like that tall, blonde, bad guy in Die Hard. He was very bad for Reds hitters today, but what pitcher hasn't been bad for Reds hitters this season? He went the distance. We hardly ever say that anymore. He struck out 10. Mets win it 1-0. Still, the Reds split the series in New York. That's not so bad. They're back here Friday for a weekend series against the Giants. And this isn't just any ordinary weekend at Great American. Remember that the Reds are celebrating 150 years of baseball, and Saturday marks the birthday.
May 4th, this Saturday, happens to align with the very first game ever played by that original 1869 Red Stockings team.
This is the brand new 1869 pavilion, which is located near where the Rose Garden used to be. It'll be dedicated at 5 Saturday, and those busts represent the players from that very first team that went through the season undefeated at 57-0. Also this weekend, the first of 15 throwback uniforms. Saturdays goes back to 1902, and Sundays dates back to 1911, all navy blue. They wore those on the road. Cincinnati's Rose Lavelle has been named to the roster for the U.S. team. It's going to play in the World Cup this summer in France. Rose went to Mount Notre Dame, then played at Wisconsin. And a big commitment for UC today, Evan Prater, who led the Wyoming Cowboys to the state title, told reporters he's going to play his college ball with the Bearcats. He liked the coaches, he enjoyed the time with UC's present quarterback Desmond Ritter, and he also appreciates the location.
My family was kind of picking and choosing where we wanted to go visit, and they were saying these places that were about 8 hours away, and I was kind of just like, I don't know if I want to go that far. I kind of just want to stay home.
Evan, who is also an outstanding basketball player, still has his senior season at Wyoming ahead of him.